The new wave of TikTok and short form content, every other platform has tried to copy TikTok's success. YouTube came out with shorts, and Instagram came out with reels. The problem is, Instagram was mainly a photographer platform made for people who posted, images, which meant artists, photographers, graphic designers, people that centralized on visual art had a great platform to expand themselves and to promote themselves. Ever since the new algorithm changes with reels and then with hashtags being nuked almost entirely, it's to the point where like hashtags don't really have that much of an effect on your post. Like even if you use a bunch of, you can't even use a bunch of hashtags. They don't let you do that anymore. Like you can only use, I think, like max 30 on a post if you want it to be promoted. And the problem is, when something isn't eligible for promotion and when you post it, it doesn't tell you that unless you tried to promote it. But things that aren't boostable, things that aren't promotable, will not be pushed as much. And Instagram doesn't tell you anything at all. Like if you look at YouTube, I can pull up my YouTube right now. I can look at my analytics. I can see, oh, this is where something went down. This is where something went up. It'll even give you little pointers saying, oh, this is doing good. You should keep doing that. And YouTube will literally spell out to you, this is what you're doing right, this is what you're doing wrong, this is how you can improve. Instagram does none of that. When you look at your analytics, you just see like the reach that you've gotten. You see, oh, I hit this many of my actual followers and this many non-followers. When you're posting content, you want to reach all of your followers but also non-followers. The problem with Instagram is that with the way the algorithm works, you could post something and it could reach literally none of your audience because you didn't use a trending audio or you didn't use the right attention grabber at the start of the video, which makes it harder to build an actual tangible community on Instagram because all of your posts aren't being shown to your audience. So you could post something that you put a lot of time into and maybe only 50% of your audience will see it, which makes it hard to constantly find what will actually work for the algorithm one day, but then the next day be like, oh, no, this isn't good. We're not going to promote your video. And so with this, the reels and the constant pushing of the TikTok algorithm onto other platforms, the way Instagram is implementing it is entirely wrong. That's the best way I could say it, because the way it isn't clearly working. And so to compensate for this, Instagram promotes you to post more on stories, on reels. Reels and stories are the main thing that actually get pushed. Like, sure, you can post a regular image, but you post on Instagram yourself. You know for a fact that if you post a regular image, maybe 25-30% of your audience is going to see it, maybe 50% if you're lucky. The main content stream on Instagram now is mainly reels and stories. That's all people do because Instagram wants to lock you in and have you continuously scrolling and using their app for multiple hours, the same way TikTok does. The problem with this fast-paced algorithm is that it now encourages or more or less forces artists or anyone else just trying to create content, but specifically I'm talking about artists here because it pushes them to create more content. The only problem with that is artists create everything they make. They have to sit down and physically draw out every single piece of content that they post. This constant push to post every single day can easily lead to art block and just lack of wanting to create content, because when you post something and you think, oh, this is going to do good, I put so much work into this, it literally does nothing. It will literally flop. And so this in and of itself stifles content creation because it makes it a constantly dejecting and depressing effort to put work out and just to see nothing come back for it, to see no engagement, to see not even a substantial amount of likes given the following that you would have. Now, with me saying all this, you might be thinking, oh, well, how would you circumvent this? How would you try to make the best out of this system? And honestly, even if you use all the hacks and tricks that you see on YouTube, it's still going to take time, effort, to get through Instagram's algorithm. And this isn't just for Instagram. This is for any social media platform. It takes time to get noticed on a platform. You have to be consistent all the time. Like if you see me on YouTube Shorts, I post shorts like several times a day. I post upwards of 10 shorts in a day, and I'll end up maybe deleting half of those because half of them will flop. Same thing with TikTok. I'll post something, it might not do as well. I'm like, okay, I'll come back to it the next day, or come back to it a couple hours later and post something different, see the results. And this is the same tactic you should employ with Instagram. Consistency is key for any platform, because the moment you stop posting, they're gonna be like, oh, no more engagement, which means no one likes your stuff anymore, so we're gonna stop recommending it. Not every niche, rather, can post every single day. Certain types of content take more time to create. And so other ways specifically on Instagram that I recommend to at least, implement into your posting is to post on like active hours. So don't post super early in the morning at like 6 a.m. Post at like maybe 10 a.m. Post at like 12. Post midday when people are on their phones, and once your post goes into the Reels algorithm, it's going to pop up on people's phones because they're already scrolling through the feed. Post it before anyone's scrolling through the feed. By the time people actually get up and get to their phones, your post is already going to be further up in the queue. It's already going to be older, and so it's not going to be shown as more recent. Using trending audios is definitely something that's going to boost you, because trending audios means that your content is being put in front of the eyes of more people. However, it depends on how trending that audio is. On Instagram, you can see the amount of uses or amount of videos that a particular audio has. And the general rule of thumb for content creation on Instagram now is if that audio has more than 2,000 uses, it's generally not a good option. You're looking for somewhere between 2,000, maybe like 4 or 5,000 max uses. Because if you use an audio that has like 10k reels, 15k reels, 14k, your content is going to get pushed down by those other people that have more of a following than you posting with that same sound. And this isn't even an end all be all, because there's been plenty of times where I posted with the trending audio that hundreds of thousands of people were using on Instagram and still ended up getting good results because of it. The main thing with the algorithm is trial and error, because for every account, it's going to treat you differently based on what you do. Sometimes Instagram will shadow ban you for periods of time. Sometimes they'll really promote your content, and then you just kind of see a flatline. Speaking of content, if you're an artist or just some sort of digital creator that has to take more time into your content, the best way to be able to post more is to maximize your content. And I'm going to explain that.
I read today about a 10-year-old girl with Down syndrome who was taken from her mother and put in a cage. I read about did you say want to a...
Maximizing your content is, say for example, you draw, right? Speed paints or time lapses, if your program allows you to do that, or you can screen record them yourself. Things like something that I see a lot of artists do that I've picked up myself is you draw your drawing and then you put like a layer over it of either the sketch or just like blank canvas, like the same color as the canvas, just on top of it on another layer, and then in the video you record yourself erasing it to reveal the drawing. That is something that I don't no clue why, but it brings a lot of attention. A lot of people like to see it, and it's short form content, no more than a 10-second video. So it fits the criteria for what the algorithm is already pushing. Stuff is going to flop, it's going to happen. And you shouldn't let that discourage you from creating content, but it's good to keep in mind how the platform that you're using actually works, how to manage your analytics and make sure that, to the best of your ability, that you're trying to maximize all of your content. To wrap it all up in a sweet little ball for you to take home, you're gonna post stuff, and some stuff might do really good, and then some stuff might do really bad, but you shouldn't let that really bad doing stuff deject you from wanting to create content, wanting to do what you want to do. If you're really passionate about it, then you just have to keep going, even if you don't see results for a very long time. When I first started out, I didn't see major results for a long time. For almost 2 years, I was stuck at like 250 followers. And then after taking some time to sit down, look at, okay, what does the algorithm want? What does it want me to do? What do people want to see? I implemented all of this, and now I have more growth. In this past just month and a half, I grew to 1,000 followers on Instagram from 200. I grew from 0 to 5,000 on TikTok. It's not impossible, it just takes time. If you like what you see, then maybe swing by that subscribe button and leave a like on the video. Leave a comment based on your thoughts about the Instagram algorithm and how absolutely terrible it is. And now, sadly, I must bid you farewell. Until next time, next week, I don't really know. I'm trying to get a more consistent upload schedule, but making videos is not easy, especially with having to draw and do comms and all that, so it's just a process. But until the next time, stay frosty.